Hello and welcome to a special edition of Zane Talks Torg, where
Zane, which is me, talks Torg.
that's right, we have a very special episode for you because Zane is very excited because we just got the Aurosh box set in for Torg. Zane, you want to tell a little bit about Aurosh while I get this set up?
Well, it's I don't know what to say.
Well, what is it?
It's a Cosm and Torg.
Yeah, but
I kind of want to say classic horror, but it has a bit more horrors mixed in there.
Yeah, it's a classic horror setting. It's sort of a Victorian horror setting.
Victorian. That's how you describe it.
Yeah, it's a Victorian horror setting, and that's just a ton of fun. I can see that Brad is in the chat, and Rook. Rook maintaining his #1 superfan spot. Rook, good to see you. So we're just going to go through the box, see what's in it, show off what we find. And the first thing we find in here is
a map pack 2.
Which is map pack 2. So you want to open map pack 1, just be careful that the crinkling doesn't get on the Mank. So let me mute while we undo these. Hello to the professor as well. All right, so Orrorsh map 2. This has all of these maps have two sides. They are heavily laminated, so you can use dry erase markers on them, just like the Pathfinder maps from Paizo. So on one side we have, on this one, what do we have? We have sort of a mountain pass. Let's get that in there. And then on the other side, we have sort of a ruined temple.
Oh, I was going to get some sort of ancient burial ground.
All right, hand me the next one. I'll show that one off.
The next one is, let me look.
What are the two sides, Zane?
There is a haunted asylum and a foggy street.
So.
This is the haunted asylum.
And then.
This is the foggy street.
So, two great maps. Again, great lamination. I love using these on the. Or while I'm actually running the game, because they give some really good, they give good feel, they give a good layout, and I love being able to draw on them and then dry erase them. They are super haunted, Rook, super haunted. So then we have the GM pack, and Zane, do you remember what comes in the GM packs?
I think the tokens. I don't remember what else.
Well, let's find out. All right, so sweet sea serpent on the front.
Yep. Sweet Theo.
Oh, I can't wait to hang this in.
It's the Orrorsh map. We also have a bit of Pan Pacifica in there.
Yeah, I cannot wait to put this on.
I think it's on the other. It goes.
No, it's there. I cannot wait to show this off put this on the wall of the studio. The GM pack also comes with
the tokens.
A ton of tokens for use on those great maps that we saw. And oh, Padre, you gotta pull your maps out of the box. And then, as always, we get a beautiful full color poster of the adventure,
the big adventure, and the core book covers. And I really think this might be my favorite core book cover. Well, let's wait for the Pan Pacific color.
That is true. Who knows what happens in there? All right. As always, you get your monster cards. You get your possibility tokens. You want to open these up and see what's on them?
Yes. And once we get the Pan Pacifica box in, we will do a part 2 to the Gospog video.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
And thanks to again, thanks to Rook for the gift sub for everyone who's in the channel. That was just, as always, your generosity, sir, is inspiring to us all. All right, we're going to work on getting these open. So this is actually, is this the Cosm that you actually like the least, right?
I say yes. I don't like horror that much. But then again, I am only 9 years old. To be fair.
So when you hit 10, you're gonna.
No, I'm not saying when I hit 10. Maybe eventually when I get older.
So 10's not older.
No, right. Like older is like years or something like that.
All right, so as always, you get a set of... I will help you out. You get a set of drama cards that are specific to Aurosh. So the first card here is called Fading Light. This round, the darkness penalty increases by 2 points, up to a maximum of -6. Oh, Mr. Ben is in the chat, and Ollie is watching.
Hello!
And then we get a ton of new Cosm cards. Ooh, Panic. You must play this card immediately after you fail a fear test. Choose another player's Cosm card at random and immediately play it. If it's not playable, discard it and choose another random card until a Cosm card that can be played comes up. So your character just freaks out and starts playing other people's Cosm's cards, whether they want them to or not.
Should I go get the scissors?
No, I got it.
Because I'm struggling with that.
It's okay, I got you. That's part of the fun of a live unboxing. Because...
How did I not see that pocket?
All right. All right, give us your first impressions. Here's the first 2 tokens. What do we have on here?
Well, first of all, we have the... I kind of want to say sweet.
It's hard to see, but
I guess I should say sour, but it's like it has a nightmare tree and then like red and
nightmare tree
purple.
And then one of the
I have no idea what this thing is.
It's an archetype character on the back. That looks like a haunted train.
And then this guy is weird.
Guy is weird. All right, then we got the acrylic blisters in there. So these are like the cardboard tokens, but they're on that clear acrylic background, which I will be using in our Torg game. If you have not tuned in, we're going to do our horror introduction, our day 1 shot tomorrow night, where a group of Scooby friends go in to investigate a haunted house when day 1 hits, and much death and horror does ensue. We've got another soundtrack. This one is A Trifling Matter, which I'm guessing is the title. Mm-hmm. And pull this out. These cargo crates, if you have not backed the... if you have not backed a Torg cargo crate, you really should. They're just chock full of stuff. All right, you want to open this up?
Mm-hmm. What is this?
That is the GM screen.
Yeah, I just read that. I'm excited to see.
And the first book in here...
Should I use my teeth or not?
No, don't use your teeth.
Can I use this if I'm careful?
If you're real careful. Yeah, you can do it there.
Meh.
There you go. Now, pull that up. All right. So this is, as always, a Torg box comes with Delphi missions. And these are short adventures that are written for Chist in this Cosm to help. I will wait for you to stop crinkling.
I'm sorry.
It's totally okay.
Should we have muted the mic again?
All right, we'll mute a minute.
No, it's okay. I'm done.
Okay.
Here you go.
Yeah. Professor says, do not use someone else's teeth to open up. So the Delphi missions in this one has 11 different adventures set within Aurosh. They're all one-shots, and they've got some great names on here from Torg writers. So Bill Slavisek, Steve Kenson, Shane Hensley, John Terra, John Watson, and others. So I'm looking forward to diving into this.
This GM screen looks sweet or sour. Whenever I would say sweet, I'm going to say sour because we are in Aurosh.
So there's the GM screen.
It also comes with...
You got the standard things that you see on these. So kind of the... Oh, let me get this in front of the screen.
Gospogs.
You've got all of your world laws on one side. You've got all of your axioms on the other. Inside you have random tables for determining nightmares. So if you remember from the Horseman game, nightmares are threats that you have to learn about to take their power away. Otherwise, they just keep coming back stronger.
Mm-hmm. Right, it also comes with some pre-gen characters.
Oh yeah, it comes with the archetypes.
Yeah, the archetypes.
And the first one is the Socialite Occultist, which I feel is just a really great looking
Looks
archetype.
like you guessed correct, Daddy. This is the big adventure called A Trifling Matter.
Let's open it up real quick so that people can see it. So A Trifling Matter says on the back, mystery, intrigue, and horror surround the Helgen court. Heroes are sent to discover what it takes to destroy a seemingly unkillable nightmare who's one of the Gauntman's most powerful servants. Their hunt takes them from the Ghats of India to the jungles of Bangladesh, from the depths of a sanitarium to the slopes of the world's tallest mountain, all to find the dark secrets which define their quarry and allow them to slay her forever.
I'm assuming this is the nightmare.
I would assume so too. My wife does not like this picture because if you can see,
Spiders.
They're covered with spiders. So 7-act adventure. The art on these covers, I still think, is one of the best covers that they've done for. Mm-hmm. And then finally, last but not least, the core book. That's right. This is the Aurosh core book. We got to play with a lot of this in the Horseman game, so ton of new material in here. Yeah, I would agree, Ben. Trashing the Gotman's top lieutenant is definitely how you die. Now, the things I really like out of here is there's some really good horror threats. They add the bleeds into here, which I'm not going to go into. We may do a review just on the bleeds, but they're a very unique thing to Torg. As well as new miracles, new spells, how to use corruption in the game, which if you watched the B-Team game, that was definitely the joy of Ben's character. Other Ben, not Ben, not the Ben that's in the chat, Ristars. And then if you enjoy playing a Monster Hunter, there's a ton of new Monster Hunter medals and alchemy and bulletsmith perks in here. So I just read the big words on the back. Fear will consume you. Yeah, remember, if you're not used to Aurosh, all of the typical rules that make your characters very difficult to kill in Torg do not apply. It is much harder to soak wounds. And then you've got the great rules for the nightmares, which is so great. I love the nightmare rules. I'm actually thinking about adapting something like it to Jackals because I just love the idea that you can't just kill some monsters. You have to find a way to put them down. So Zane, first impressions of the Torg Aurosh box. What do you think? Second impressions of the Torg Aurosh box. Yes. Great art. You can never lie about the art in and on the books, on the GM screens, on the cards. You can never lie about how great those are. That art is. Yeah, no, they're really great, yes. And I really like the rules. I'm looking forward to putting the map up in the studio. I may send a picture once all of the maps have gone up. We're sort of piecemealing the world together on one wall, showing off all of the different how the cosms have spread. So, to everyone who has joined us for Zane Talks Torg, thank you so much. This is awesome. It was great for a random stream. This was just great. What were you saying that is correct here? So the Gotman is the big bad of Torg Eternity. Yes. Yes, and this not spoiling. I am not spoiling. Yeah, and this is his cosm. And this is his own cosm. Yeah. Yes. So, so Ben asked, how does it being the Gotman's cosm change it? Well, Ben, I'm glad you asked. So you know, in addition to corruption, there are things that you can take which are corruptive acts. And when you do those, you have to make a test, and if you fail, things happen, and eventually you could lose control of your character. There are perks that require you to have corruption if you're leading into. But the real rule that affects how it changes the play, so in Torg, you have the rule of how to soak, right? If you take wounds, or shock if you wanted to, you can spend a point of possibility and make a reality roll to soak. Not in the Gauntman's. You can in the Gauntman's. But it has specific rules that apply. So the law of perseverance, so the law of eternal corruption is that one about corruption. If you fail your willpower test, you lose a point of charisma, and if it drops low enough, you become a servant of the Gauntman. The law of perseverance says that when you make a soak test, hitting 10 doesn't reduce wounds at all. Hitting 15 instead of taking off 2 wounds only takes off 1 wound. And if you get to an outstanding, it still negates everything, but it basically bumps everything 1 up the track. So it becomes much more difficult to soak wounds when facing monsters. And then, Ben, you add on top of that if you fight a nightmare and you don't know its history and you kill it, it will come back stronger with more possibility and experience points. And so every time you kill this thing, it comes back stronger. Right. Yeah, unless you do it right. That's a good point, Zane. Thank you. Well, Zane, thank you for this tour of Aurosh. I'm glad that you were able to do it with me. Thank you. I am looking forward to doing more Zane Talks Torg. And then when the final Pan Pacifica book box comes out, we're going to do an unboxing, and then maybe a few days after that, we will do part 2 of the Gospel. We will. So, to everyone who is a fan and has jumped on, thank you to everyone who has jumped on to the Iconic Production channel. Thank you to everyone who tunes in every Tuesday night for our Torg game. Check out all of the other great content we have on the Iconic Production channel. There's more Zane Talks Torg videos. I do behind the screens at 10 a.m. Central, both on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We're going to be designing a werewolf or a cursed wolf spirit in behind the screen tomorrow. And the third Saturday of every month we do Exploring Glorantha, and the fourth Saturday of every month we do you know? The Grand Campaign.
Oh, right.
So, we've got more content coming. If you follow Iconic Production or the Iconic Podcast, we're going to start streaming our initial videos on Twitch and then turning it into the podcast. So if you're around, you can jump on and interact with us while we do that. So to everyone again, once again, thank you so much. Thank you to my excellent I'm the co-host on this show because it's Zane Talks Torg, not JM Talks Torg. So thank you for letting me be on your show, Zane.
Always, it will always be a yes.
Do you want to do the sign-off, or do you want me to do the sign-off?
I'm gonna need to practice it.
Okay, so you want me to do it?
So you do it.
Okay, so everyone, until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, stay gaming, and we'll be back with more Zane Talks Torg at some point.
At some point. We're not sure when, but
That's
at
right.
some point.